Accident of the week. So how did this happen? Hey, it's only a big truck. Might have seen this on another video I did, but I just had to show it again. I mean, come on. How does somebody miss a big truck like this and run right under it? We're at our test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out the door this week. Looks like we got ourselves a 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. They call this a pickup truck. Okay, or an SUV with a bed. I love compact trucks, and I've definitely been waiting for this one to come by. I think I'm going to like it. The biggest competitor for the Hyundai Santa Cruz is this new 2022 Ford Maverick. Just so happens we have one of these to drive to this week. We'll have a video for this Ford at the end of this Hyundai video. Go to the end, click and watch. See how they compare. Might be closer than you think. If you watch my videos, you know one of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. We are going to do that, but that will be at the end of the video from now on, not the beginning, so we can concentrate on the vehicle. And the second thing we do is check and make sure there's a spare tire. Yep, it's on the outside. I can't recall if this bed length is 4 feet or 4.5 feet. Either way, yeah, it's a bit on the short side, but I've been hauling 7-foot bookcases in this all week. Just lower the tailgate down, tie it down, no problem for me. And under the floor we have a secret compartment, just like the Honda Ridgeline does, for all your valuables. As well as this locking bed cover, comes in handy. The base price starts at $24,000, so for that you get a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, 191 horsepower, hooked to an 8-speed automatic transmission and 2-wheel drive. We have the upgraded motor, 2.5 turbo, a whopping 281 horsepower, hooked to a very, very nice 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. All-wheel drive is available. We got that. I suggest you get that to distribute all this power evenly. Fuel economy is claimed to be 19 in the city, 27 on the highway, 22 overall. We're going to be having this on the road all week to get the real figures for you. So you may want to watch the entire video. If you order the Santa Cruz with the bigger engine, dual-clutch transmission, and all-wheel drive, load up with all the goodies like we have here, the price jumps up from 25 grand to a healthy 41 grand. Wow. By comparison, here's the Honda Ridgeline we test drove about 6 months ago. Big V6 engine, 9-speed automatic, all-wheel drive. A lot bigger vehicle. It starts at $36,490 and well-equipped, $48,660. I'm not saying the Santa Cruz isn't worth the 41 bills, but they're getting kind of brave with their price structure, I'll say that. Hyundai usually discounts more than Honda, but with the vehicle shortage, I don't think anyone's going to be discounting this year. If you watch the other YouTube videos, they're telling you the payload is 1,500 pounds, but according to what I read from Hyundai, only 600 of that is for the rear bed. The other 900 is for the rest of the vehicle. Handy to know. I think 600 pounds is more than generous considering the small bed, unless you're hauling Oprah around. And for those who think this little 4-foot bed can't carry much, we're certainly going to. And here's a side shot. All it takes is a bit of stacking and a bit of rope. Fits like a glove. There's decent room in the second row seating, aside from leg room, if the front seats are pushed all the way back. You have relatives you hate and want to get rid of them, push the seats all the way back. When you take them for a ride, they'll leave in a hurry, never come back. And the bottom cushions do fold back for storing big gear, large gear, heavy gear, and reaching the jack if you get a flat. By the way, here's how much legroom you have with the front seat pushed all the way forward. So, yes, it is possible to fit 2 adults back here comfortably. Just have to jiggle the seats around a bit. You'll work it out. I've always been impressed by the quality of Korean interiors from Hyundai and Kia. Materials and workmanship, very good. Let's check out the glove box. Lots of room in there. Nice gauge cluster. Kind of hard to see with my camera because it's picking up a lot of odd reflections you don't see in person, but trust me, it looks pretty good. Excellent clarity on the rearview camera. The sun visors slide back and forth to keep the sun from coming through the side windows. Buttons for the air-conditioned seats, heated steering wheel. I'm told this really isn't a locking differential, but does the same thing. We'll find out when we take this out in the dirt. Hill descent. On the bad news, almost all your controls, especially the radio, everything's on a touch screen. Climate control, touch screen. Volume control, touch screen. But I'll give them a pass because we have another volume control on the steering wheel, so won't be using the one on the touch screen then. I don't like touch screens, but it's the way of the future apparently, so we'll just have to get used to it. Paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Okay, a real hot rod. And they belong on the steering wheel, not on the steering column like the Italians do, which is a stupid place to put them. This is a far better place. Always reachable, regardless of the steering wheel position. Alright, first half of the video show and tell is over. Second half, we're going to take this out and do some driving. Get some fuel economy numbers, see how it does in the dirt, and how it compared to the Ford Maverick I drove a couple days ago. So far in mixed commuting, I've been getting 21.2 mpg, pretty close to the 22 mpg claimed on the window sticker. Not bad. We're doing some freeway trips and off-roading, so we'll have more figures coming up in the video. I'm impressed with the power steering system. Pretty responsive. Decent feel and feedback for basically what is a truck. I don't have any complaints. As we do all of our videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps at 15 miles per hour, see how the suspension performs on impact. Keep in mind, this is the optional package with bigger 20-inch wheels and tires. Heard some thumping, but didn't feel too much. Very comfortable. You see we have a nasty pothole there. Went right over it, no problem. Here comes the third bump. And the nasty one, big one. Very comfortable. Very smooth. One feature I'm very impressed with is this 8-speed dual clutch transmission. It is a gem. Absolutely perfect shifting. Very aggressive, goes right in the next gear. No hesitation, no BS. I'm very, very impressed with this gearbox. There's a common belief out there that dual clutch transmissions don't last as long as a regular gearbox, and mainly for the European versions, that's true, because European cars always break down when they're out of warranty. But as far as this one goes, I don't know, but you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it, so I'm not going to worry too much if I buy it. And with this sweet gearbox, combined with the strong engine, acceleration's not an issue. Takes about a second to get going, but once you do, lots of guts. Excellent brakes, too. One thing I like about the Santa Cruz compared to the Maverick is the build quality. Both are more than adequate, but this one has the feel of a $40,000 vehicle. With the Maverick, you know it's a $20,000 vehicle. One feature I like about the Santa Cruz, there's a camera located in the outside mirrors. So when you activate the turn signal, you can see what's on your left without looking at the mirror. Nice feature to have. Works at night too. I took this on a long highway trip last night, but the crosswinds were so bad. Very, very bad. We only got 20.9 miles to the gallon. But tonight, the weather's pretty good, so we're going to take another trip, about 100 miles or so. See if we can bump up those numbers. And by the way, this is a very comfortable vehicle on highway trips. The wind noise is reasonably low. With these big tires and all-wheel drive, no problem sticking to the road, even if those crosswinds do come back. Well, there we go, 25.1. Seems reasonable enough for me. I need to take another highway trip today. There's very little wind out at all. So maybe my fuel economy numbers will be better than what I got the other night. Let's give it a go and find out. And I think earlier I mentioned how comfortable this rig is on highway trips, and I'll say it again. Very smooth and comfortable and quiet. Good thing, because I'm taking a lot of highway trips this week. And they did an excellent job in engineering, there's no doubt about that. 26.8 looks pretty good to me. And in 1 week of driving, overall we've averaged 21.5 mpg, pretty close to what the EPA window sticker said. Try that in a full-size 4x4 truck. Pretty good figure. But we're not done yet. Got to stop by the ranch house, get some supplies, and do some ranch patrolling. After all, this is a 4x4, needs to be taken out in the dirt. The Santa Cruz has enough ground clearance for going off in the sticks. And with all-wheel drive, you get better traction if you order that option. Comes in handy on this gravel and the sand I'm coming up on. I've been very impressed with the body structure. No rattles or creaks or anything like that, regardless of the conditions I'm driving on. And as I said in other videos, if you have a narrow truck, you can fit it in narrow roads like this that come down often. The bigger rigs really can't fit here unless you want to tear up a lot of bushes to scratch up your paint, but we won't have that problem here. And this dual clutch transmission is perfect for off-roading. Always knows the right gear to get into. No lag at all. Obviously, on a vehicle based on a car chassis, you're not going to be able to keep up with your buddy's Jeep Wrangler or Toyota Tacoma. But for 80%, 90% of the off-roading I do, this works just fine. Same thing with this short bed. You know, 90% of the stuff I ever have to haul fits in here just fine if you know how to do it. Alright, it's dark enough. Let's see what these lights do. And it appears we have quite a light show going on. Whole front end glowing away. Having a low beam at the moment. Now the high beam setting. And a good wide spread from the rear. And here are the emergency flashers. And we got the emergency flashers in the mirrors too. That's pretty cool. You know, with the flasher lights and the camera in here, I bet this is very expensive to replace. I'd be very, very careful with this if I was you. The cabin lights up pretty good in the dark. Most important items are easy to see. And the ignition button lights up to start the vehicle or turn it off, which is a blessing because in the Ford Maverick it was totally dark and you had to stick a key in on top of that. That was kind of clumsy to do. And hurrah, there is a light in the glove box. At least they're not skimping on pennies here. And here's the image you see from the rear view camera. Not the sharpest clarity I've ever seen, but it does look better in the daytime. I tried it. And here's what the left turn signal camera looks like in the dark. Actually, it looks better in person than what you're seeing on my cheap handheld camera here. For those complaining about the images on my camera system, well, this is all I can afford. Send me some more money on my Patreon account and I'll buy a better one. Alright, for the headlights. Very bright, a bit lower than I would care for. There's a peculiar dark spot on the left side there. Don't know what that's all about. There's a high beam, very strong in the middle. Not so much on the sides. And here we have the brights on a fence line 80 yards away, building 130 yards away, with the truck in the way. Lights up pretty good. But on low beam, Not quite. Good shot of the security guard, though. Where'd he go? Overall, I give these headlights a B+. They're more than adequate. Just two little notes, though. If you're paying extra for these LEDs, you expect them to be flawless, not just very good. And number two, the units on the Ford Maverick are definitely better, for those interested in that comparison. But still, I can live with these every night. Not really a problem. But I can't complain about this engine, as well as the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. This vehicle really moves out in a hurry. Power is no problem. Overall, I really love the Santa Cruz. It's very practical, great for my lifestyle. Drives like a car in city traffic, hauls like a truck when I need to haul some gear. Great for off-roading, with limitations, of course. If you're going to get one, you have the money, get the optional turbo engine. It's a real gem, lots of power, and that beautiful 8-speed dual clutch shifts like a dream. I'd be cheating myself if I didn't get these two options. If you're into it for that much money, you might as well get the all-wheel drive as well. But the bottom line, this is a very nice vehicle with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty to back up with the drivetrain, even better. And how's it compare with the Ford Maverick? We got that video coming up right now. Did a full week test on that one too. Next up, the 2022 Ford Maverick with the FX4 off-road package. Just click and watch.